Well, tomorrow we're going to attempt our first bikepacking adventure, 400k round trip from Worcestershire to Llanelli and back across the Brecon Beacons with an overnight on the return leg in the Brecon Beacons. So the weather looks pretty good, although it's pretty warm. Hopefully there's no rain forecast, and we'll see how it goes. This is the bike I'm using, so a couple of panniers supplied by Lidl, which are great. In one of them I've got a sleeping bag, a few bin liners, some energy bars. In the second one, basically a change of clothing and a survival bag. I don't have a sleeping mat. I've got some bubble wrap, so hopefully I'll be okay for a few hours. Just a couple of things to note on the bike. I do have lights supplied by a dynamo, and that can also charge my phone during the day. Yeah, so I think that's probably all for now. In the top tube bag, just a few more energy bars and cash and things I'll be carrying. Here we are, just setting off. The sun's been up for about half an hour to approximately 5 o'clock. Here we go. Passing through Tenbury, the first significant town on the route. Still a lovely morning, beginning to warm up a little now. Might have to think about taking off the coat. Hay-on-Wye, southern Shropshire hills, absolutely beautiful. I'll be revisiting these in a week's time. Take part in the Killer further north, really. Absolutely gorgeous. First view of the Black Mountains and Brecon Beacons in the distance. Right in the middle there, I think you probably see Lord Hereford's Knob. Still gorgeous, temperatures are great. It's about 9 o'clock, 8:30, something like that. arrived at Hay here, enjoying a second breakfast, which is very welcome. Beans on toast and a nice big cup of coffee. Then we'll be pressing on to Brecon. Just on the way to Brecon, which isn't too far away, maybe 10 miles from here. Stock up on some food and top up the water bottles for the long stretch across the Brecon Beacons and down to Swansea. There aren't too many large towns on that leg. Hopefully we'll have some more food in Swansea and then head on back. Just coming into Brecon. As I said earlier, stock up with food here and some water, and then head on across the mountains. So we've I left Brecon about 15k ago. Pretty much been climbing since then, more or less in the Brecon Beacons now. Unfortunately it's cloudy over, so it's not too warm. In fact, perfect temperature really. Climbs haven't been too steep, just gradual so far. Yeah, pretty remote now. Pretty much kind of cycling along a ridge. Brilliant views all round. Not much traffic at all. Head of the mountains now on a cycle path about 15 miles away from Swansea. Just stopping to have a sandwich. There's a little shower, so I had to cover the panniers up. Hopefully the sleeping bag didn't get wet. And looking forward to a stop in Swansea and a proper meal. Here we are at the sea, Swansea Bay, on the Bay cycle path. Huge beach. That's the Mumbles in the distance, the other side of the bay. Homeward leg, around 185k. I head on back to the Brecon Beacons, probably another 60k, 70k, and then look for a place to sleep. Fantastic sunset. I thought as it was a little cloudy there wouldn't be too much of a sunset, but it lighting all those hills over there and just going down behind this hill. That's just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. We're going up that road there. So this is the bed for the night. and this is the view. Absolutely lovely. We'll see what sort of night's sleep we get. Bedroom set up for the night. Well, I have to say that went surprisingly well. I did sleep. I can't say it was the very best night's sleep I had in the world, but I slept. The bubble wrap as a sleeping mat worked out fine. My biggest fear was that it was going to rain in the night, and I'd have to somehow get inside this this survival bag. I don't have a big bivy bag with me, but I'm using a survival bag as a ground sheet. It is quite moist actually, so I think it was quite cold last night. Lots of condensation. Now I need to sort myself out, get some breakfast. I think I've got a choice of a cheese sandwich or a coleslaw sandwich and maybe a few biscuits, and then get on the road. It's a bit cloudy today, so not much of a sunrise. Didn't get too pestered too much by insects. I don't think I've got too many bites, although I did put on insect repellent as soon as I got here. So great. And ready for the off again. All packed up. It's around 6 o'clock. I think I've got about 130k to go. So maybe 7 hours, something like that. I think I'll press on to Hay Y, and if the cafe's open, have something to eat there. Just leaving Hay after the second breakfast. Press on now to get home. Probably 85k, something like that. May stop somewhere, grab a sandwich or something, but that should be fine. There we are, I'm back. My first bikepacking experience, 370k I think it was, and I have to say I absolutely loved it. It's just so exhilarating being out free on a bike, lightweight camping gear, not having to carry tents and cooking equipment, being able to go as far as you want, as quickly as you want, stop where you want, and camping, wild camping overnight in the mountains, sitting in a sleeping bag, watching the sun go down is absolutely magical. In terms of equipment, I pretty much go with everything I have really. The bike was great. I thought the gearing may be a little high, but 34, 32 I've got on the back, I think, was adequate. I think the steepest climb I went up was probably around 15%. Combination of in and out of the saddle got me up that. The Garmin, great. I wouldn't attempt bikepacking with maps. I know some people prefer maps, but it just takes all the hassle out of the navigation. These little top tube bags, excellent for keeping food in and the essentials readily to hand. There's a debate, I suppose, when you're bikepacking, whether you should be using a frame bag and maybe a seat post stroke saddle bag rather than a rack and panniers. I chose to go the rack and pannier route, and I have to say it was excellent. It was great climbing out the saddle with these panniers. They're relatively small. I got them from Lidl, cheap. They have a waterproof cover that's zipped in underneath. I did use that a couple of times on the way back today, but fantastic. The bubble wrap sleeping mat worked fine, no problem with that. I wouldn't invest in a foam or a self-inflating sleeping mat. The only thing I possibly would change, if the weather was likely to be, if you're likely to have a few showers, then it's probably worthwhile investing in a Gore-Tex bivy bag. As you will have seen from the video, I used a survival bag, and I use that basically as a ground sheet. But if it started raining and you have to put your sleeping bag inside that survival bag, it would get pretty moist, I think, because of the condensation. So probably a Gore-Tex bivy bag is a worthwhile investment. But overall, fantastic. If you haven't tried bikepacking, I recommend you doing so, and certainly try and wild camp in mountains, because it's just fantastic.